topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from experts on such topics as legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to our experts in community association law, estate planning law, tax relief, Medicare, public insurance adjusters, neuropathy treatment, business brokers, and personal injury law, along with many other topics. Now here's your host for the last 17 years, Steve O.
Good afternoon, California and the West Coast. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where we bring you the finest experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. I got to tell you, 3 years ago, we started securing experts in the area of Medicare. I had no idea that people had such an interest. I thought it was just me. But I got to tell you, once we saw how important a topic this is, and I had to wait for some of our markets to come open, we found one of the top agents. And folks, I'm going to tell you something. One of the things I want to make sure that you understand is how important it is to have a good Medicare agent. And I got to tell you, it almost boiled down to, it doesn't even matter where you live. Our great expert, Stephen Fromm, will be able to help you. Good afternoon, Stephen.
Good afternoon, sir, and thank you very much for having us on the show today. We greatly appreciate it. We're definitely loving your new hat. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you something about hats. I am a hat connoisseur. And what I learned, that look at the back of your hat. If it has the name of the company or it has a cool slogan, that is a major hat. So look at this. I'm going to prove to you. And I haven't even looked. What does it say? Does it say anything there? Let's see.
Here to help.
Here to help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd have been really embarrassed if nothing would have been there, Stephen.
So would I.
But you know what? What I'm trying to tell you is everything this man and his wife does is first class. I have never. We work with all kinds of companies, legal, health, financial, and home improvement. I have never seen two individuals that everything they do, whether it's promotional items or how they help people, everything is first class. So guess what I did? Something I haven't done in 17 years. I actually made Stephen Fromm my Medicare agent. I just wish I had had him 3 years ago. Stephen, I can't give you enough accolades.
Well, we appreciate that. As you know, as I talk in every show, we're here to help families. Medicare is, confusing, overwhelming, pick an adjective. And the bottom line is we're here to make a positive difference. Had that conversation many times today with families making a positive difference. And someone asked me, hey, do you like what you do? I said, no, I don't like what I do. I said, I love what I do. I said, I love what I do. I said, this is not even work. I'm excited to come into the home office. I'm excited to talk to families. I've learned so much. Yesterday was an amazing day of talking, helping someone. As I was telling Judith last night, I never know who I'm going to talk to and what I'm going to get. And this particular gentleman happened to be a professional blackjack dealer. And it was just some amazing stories we got to talk about besides Medicare. So it's always great to build that rapport with families and get to know it, across the United States, what these people do. And it's exciting. It really is. It's really cool.
Okay. head a little bit bigger now. So we even had one of our experts in another state that heard me talk about Stephen, and he went to your website and he said, I have never seen such a website with so much valuable information. He said, I am jealous. I can't even come close to doing what he does. Now that's coming from another agent in a whole nother state.
Well, we appreciate that. I know that I've said to you, we're very proud of what we have accomplished. And that particular website, I started with the company about almost 2 years ago. And they said to me, it'll take a year before you get traction on this website. And it was a year. But the biggest thing has been every idea that I come up with, they are able to implement that. So that website has changed so many times. And just as an example, all of our podcasts are now on the website.
Yes.
All of our Turning 65 workshops are in there. The explaining Medicare Part A and B, with your supplemental plan, Part D, or the ancillary, it's all on there already. Pretty soon, I'm going to add the calculator on there. How you can automatically calculate your Part B premium, if Part B penalty. I'm sorry, if you're late, Part D. We're going to add that calculator on there so people can do that automatically for themselves. So it's always evolving. It's always changing.
Well, I want to tell people, because Stephen asked me if I would send him his last two shows, his New Jersey and his Florida, which includes a lot more states, but those are the main headings. And I mean, we do about 30 shows a month, so I usually just send them the link. And I looked at your shows. Now, his first show he did with us was in the New Jersey market, and I sent him this month's show. And I got to tell you, I'm going to explain what this means. He had almost 1,100 views just on YouTube. Now, I have looked at like big name people who do a podcast, and they usually average about 200 to 300 people. He had over 1,100. And then we opened up Florida, and Florida had he just started with Florida. He had over 600 views there. I mean, people love your show, Stephen.
Well, we appreciate that. We work hard. You and I, we kind of pregame before the show, talk about what we're going to discuss and, make a difference. And I think, as you called it today, the skinny drug, the big changes coming with GLP weight loss drugs for seniors effective July 1st of this year. And, there's been a lot of misinformation. So I wanted to make sure people understand some important parts about it. First of all, you have to be enrolled in Medicare Part D plan, okay? And you have to be prescribed the GLP drug by the physician. Okay. Now, the thing is, you must qualify. That's the part that people have missed. You must qualify. So some of the qualifications, I'm just going to read them by printing them out today. So it goes off of your BMI, your body mass index. So to meet one of the following, so if your BMI is 35 or higher, you will qualify for this program. If your BMI is 30 or higher and you have had heart failure, high blood pressure, or chronic kidney disease, you will qualify for this program. If your BMI is 27 or higher with prediabetes, prior heart attack, or prior stroke, you will qualify for this program. Now, eligible medications are Wegovy and Zepbound. That is the two medications, and they're each $50. Now, this $50 does not count towards your Part D plan. Doesn't go towards the $2,100 annual out-of-pocket maximum. This is separate. So it's very important that people distinguish. A lot of folks hear that, oh, GLP, $50, and I can't wait. As we talk about, not every medication is covered here, and you must qualify for the program, and this medication has to be prescribed by a physician. So very important that you understand these parameters.
Stephen, I am so well aware of what is going on. Um, there's about 6 drugs out there. There's
Mhm.
only going to be 2, like Stephen said. But before, you basically had to have diabetes, or you could, I mean, it would be really difficult to get this. So that's one change. Now, Stephen, well, I understand December 2027 is the date that I guess they're going to look at it and see if they should continue the program.
It's going to be 18 months. They're going to do it for 18 months, and then go back and reevaluate, the success of the program, which makes sense. It's a new
Yeah.
program. Hopefully, it's going to help a lot of seniors. But again, I always just want to stress, a lot of folks just heard GLP $50. That's all I
Right,
heard.
right.
That's all I heard. So we want to make sure if you qualify, that is very important that we have that and what the qualifications are. So we don't want people to get all excited because on my GLP drug is now $50. Well, let's make sure you qualify first.
And let me tell you something for those of you who've never used this before. It is normally anywhere from $900 to $1,200 a month. So the $50 range is a really good price. Plus, now I had mine because I have kidney disease, and they did allow it, and it was really difficult. But now it doesn't matter if you've got kidney disease or you've had a heart condition. Uh, you're gonna pay, but it doesn't affect your out of pocket, right, Stephen?
No, it's a $50 copayment. Again, you have to be enrolled in your Part D
Right.
plan. It does not go towards a $2,100 out of pocket maximum. So it's completely outside of the Part D program. So it's going to be interesting.
I want to tell you something. I think I've told you this. We've done so many shows already,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this is so important for people to understand. And I don't mind being the guinea pig.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to tell people that I mean, my kidney functions were really, really, really bad. And I went on Ozempic. And my doctor told me, he said, "You're never going to get better. We just want to keep it from getting worse." That was not something I wanted to hear. I'm going to tell you, since I've gone on Ozempic, and I think they're all basically the same, my lab work, and my doctor's like shocked, my lab work is 100% better, which I was told it never would. And it's, I know your people want to lose weight, but it's so good for so many health issues that you might be having.
That's true. I mean, again, it's, I'm not a medical professional, so I don't know all of that, but it's important to listen to your doctor and understand, the benefits that these medications do have for you. And, I think this is exciting for folks that, need this medication starting in July, like you just said, $900 a month. That's a lot of money. But now
Yes.
maybe you'll qualify for this program at $50, and it's going to make a huge difference in your life. So this is really important. I mean, it's going to be interesting over the next 18 months to see how they evaluate this and, what the positive outcomes are.
Absolutely. Stephen, would you explain to people as an agent what you do for them?
Sure. So I am a licensed independent agent. I am licensed now in 38 states with 23 different carriers. As an independent agent, what I am able to do, help families when they enroll in Medicare, original Medicare, Medicare Advantage. As an independent agent, I am able to look at various carriers for them to help find, what plan, which carrier is going to work best for them in each state. Let's just say zip code, county, state, things differ. So we want to make sure that we evaluate, what the plan for you may, the plan we roll you in, for example, your neighbor's plan may not be the best plan for you. So we always want to make sure, a lot of folks, maybe get advice from somebody and they think it's great advice. And it's not really. I had a situation yesterday where everybody in the neighborhood had enrolled in Plan G because that is all they knew. And then with the family, I went through the Plan N with husband and wife. And by choosing Plan N and being okay with those $20 co-payments, they each saved $60 a month. And then we took that $60 a month and we applied it towards cancer, heart attack, stroke insurance. So basically that $60 paid for one of those policies. For example, a $30,000 cancer policy, let's say it was $60. So that Part N, that savings paid for that plan. And that's what we talk about during our show all the time. How big of a protection of an umbrella can we build for you? Medicare is great, but like any other insurance, there will be gaps. And we want to make sure we protect you about those gaps. It's not just about the $20 co-payment on Plan N. Plan N, Plan G, very similar. There are slight differences, but the $20 co-payment, if you're okay with that and you realize the savings and how you can apply that. So those are the different things that I personally do. I personally take it to a different level of understanding, especially with math. I'm not going to lie. My father was a financial planner and I grew up around actuaries. So math is very important to me. And my father, ingrained in my head that math never lies to you. And it doesn't. Numbers are numbers. And if you understand the value of the number, then you can take advantage of it. So that's important. All those different things as an independent agent I'm able to do for folks.
Stephen, I want, people who are first getting into Medicare or Medicare Advantage, they see these commercials on TV. And so they call the company direct. Now, I hope you don't get upset with me. Folks, I'm telling you, if you call these companies direct, first of all, they're only going to give you what they offer. With going to Stephen, he's going to show you different plans so that at least you have a choice. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. We'll just use your commercials. Those commercials are targeting Medicare Advantage plans. So those plans differ by different zip codes. So as an independent agent with our software, I'm able to look at the various plans in your area and we're able to evaluate, hey, are your doctors in network? Are your medications going to be covered? Is the hospital you want to go to in network? Are extra benefits important to you? Dental, vision, hearing, maybe over the counter. Unfortunately, with a lot of those commercials, someone it gets excited about a certain benefit. Maybe it's over the counter card and they enroll with that carrier and they don't do the due diligence of checking, is my doctor still in network? Are my medications going to be covered? They just got caught up in that moment of, wow, I'm going to get this extra benefit and it possibly will help them on a monthly basis. But if your doctor's not in network anymore, then the plan didn't help you at all. So those are the different distinctions that we're able to do for everybody. Evaluate the whole plan. What's important to you?
I can't stress. I'm going to tell people a little short story. I do so much due diligence when I'm not on the air. And one of the things, since Medicare is such an important show for us, I called a couple insurance companies, not important who they were, but I didn't just call them once. I called each one of them 3 times. Of course, I got a different person on the phone each time. But I'm going to tell you, this is what's scary. This is why we tell you to call Stephen up. One company, I got 3 different quotes from the same company. And the next one I got, out of 3, I got 2 different quotes. And that was the same company. And I guess what I'm saying is why it's so important for you to get a good agent like Stephen that knows everything that's out there. And he is going to give you he's going to give you the best plan. And I didn't have that when I first started.
Well, I appreciate that, Stephen. As you say, do your due diligence. I had a situation this afternoon with a client enrolling in the Medigap plan. We use a certain software program, and I know that state is a little challenging. So I was a little unsure about some of the costs. So as I said to I said to her, listen, before I quote anything, I really need to do a little bit more research for you. And so, we hung up, and before the show, I did that research and I sent her the email. And I was right. The price was different on the carrier site than it was on the platform we use. So it was important that I did that, because I sent that to her and she was like, wow, I really appreciate, making sure we got this right. So just that extra time that I spent after the call, 30 minutes, just making sure that all the information was correct. So those are little things that we do to differentiate ourselves.
Stephen, is California crazier than any other state?
California is a very heavily regulated state. Yes, I'm not going to use the word crazy. I'm going to say it's a very heavily regulated state. There are things that that are very different from Florida, New Jersey, whatever state you do pick. So, but one real quick thing I wanted to mention is the California Medicare birthday rule. A lot of folks are not aware of this that are on Medigap plan. With the Medicare birthday rule, on their birthday, and then 60-day window after that, they can change their Medicare supplemental plan without underwriting. So, for example, let's say you're on Plan G with Company A, and they're charging you $200 a month, and Company B is only charging $150 a month. Well, in California, they have that birthday rule, and as long as that during that 60-day window, you can change plans without underwriting. So a lot of seniors are not aware of that. So that's definitely something we can help them
That's
with.
only in California, right?
There's other states that have a birthday rule too, but California, as we're talking about, I wanted to make sure people know about that. Now you have to be enrolled in a Medicare supplemental plan, but a lot of folks are not aware of the birthday rule with no underwriting. So a very important thing to be aware of. Because again, heavily regulated state.
Now, Stephen's with us every month. Actually, we do 3 shows now, and this is our California show today. Stephen, I want people to write your phone number down. I want them to write your email and your website down because, hey, enrollment's right around the corner, isn't it?
It will be here before you know it. Yes, and that's why for us, all of our certifications begin right now. So yes, it'll be here before you know that. So anyone can give me a call. They can call me on the work cell, which is 908-268-2356. That's my personal work cell. They could also email me at Stephen, which is STEPHEN, at my last name, FROMME, letter I, the letter S.com, as well as they can go on the website, www.fromis.com. There's a contact form on that website. Fill out that form, comes right to me in my email, and we will get right back to you. As well as on the email now, as we talked about, somebody can always go on and order a hard copy of our book. So there you go. Thanks, Rebel. So yeah, you can order a hard copy of the book.
Out, Stephen?
The new one? Oh, I don't know yet. I'm working on. I'm waiting for the professional proofreader. I think we're at the final cut. So if that happens, then I will try to go to print hopefully next week. So
maybe we'll give a couple away as a prize on the show.
Oh, no doubt. There'll be plenty of them. There'll be plenty to give away. So
Stephen, I feel like I can't thank you enough. You're just a world of information, and I'm so glad we've got you for California. I almost missed out on you, but Stephen does 3 shows a month with us, and folks, I'm telling you, let Stephen do the work for you. It doesn't cost you anything unless you get some other side programs, but just the basic program, you don't have to write a check to Stephen, correct?
Correct. My fee is 0. We work for free. We are compensated by the insurance companies, and that is the best way to do it. Free advice.
Absolutely. Well, Stephen, thanks again. We'll see you next month. Hang in there. There's something I want to show you after the show.
All right. You got it, man.
That's Stephen Fromm. Folks, thanks for tuning in today. We want to thank our TikTok audience for joining us. Thank you, Rebel, as usual. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.